My beloved child, in the stillness of this room, there is a presence unseen by human eyes, yet more tangible than any sound. A messenger from the heights of heaven stands beside you with eyes filled with concern and a heart heavy with earnest intercession. This one has not come as a passing guest. He arrives with the weight of a divine mission sent to awaken your soul. He whispers not to frighten you, but to open your eyes to hidden dangers you have yet to perceive. Imagine this invisible blade sweep across your life, leaving no outward scar, yet steadily robbing you of peace, hope, and trust. Subtle cords entwine your mind, needless anxieties, toxic comparisons, habits that steal direction, and loneliness disguised behind a smile. This messenger has come to expose these snares. He has come to draw you out of an influence that seems ordinary to you but is in truth perilous. He gazes at you with both compassion and solemnity. In his eyes burns a love beyond calculation, yet also an urgency that cannot be ignored. Listen, he says in words simple yet penetrating. It is not a cold command, but a call from one who cares about every step you take. He tells you that battles rage nearby, unheard by human ears, yet discernible to a soul that dares to pause and pay attention. You may have grown accustomed to noise, the endless duties, unfinished plans, and burdens of daily toil that swallow up your inner voice. But now, as the messenger stands before you, he presses you to be still. He longs for you to hear the rhythm of your own breathing, to realize that your life is not carried by your hands alone. There is a heavenly hand upholding and guiding you. He urges you to turn, not merely to glance out the window at the world, but inward to the place where God works most deeply. The messenger reminds you of opportunities you nearly lost, of promises inscribed in heaven yet unnoticed on earth. He recalls prayers once whispered and then forgotten, vows you made to yourself but never fulfilled, and dreams planted long ago but buried under the dust of discouragement. In each reminder, he offers encouragement, not to shame you for the past, but to stir you forward with renewed strength. His mission also carries a warning: subtle influences surround you. Corroded relationships, habits that erode faith, and words that sow quiet destruction. These do not always come like a storm. Often they drift in like mist, dulling your vision. He speaks firmly yet tenderly. My child, do not let that fog become your normal. Do not accept numbness of the heart as part of life. His words press you to vigilance, to guard your soul with clarity and purity. Yet the message is not only warning, it is also healing. This messenger carries grace to touch the broken places within you. He lays an unseen hand upon the wounds you have hidden, breathing into them the warmth of hope. He teaches you the way back through sincere prayer, through opening the scriptures, through drawing near to a community of faith, and through small but steady steps of obedience. He reminds you that returning is not a mark of failure, but the beginning of a brighter journey. Perhaps you wonder, how can I know this is truly the voice of God? The messenger does not promise ease, but he assures you that a humble heart refines discernment. You will know by the peace that rises in the midst of chaos. By the way a right decision strips fear of its power. By the door a heartfelt prayer unlocks. These are the signs of true presence, not fleeting emotion but enduring peace, a steady certainty that anchors the soul. He also reminds you of the power of proclamation. The words that leave your lips can either break chains or weave new barriers. When you declare God's promises, when you speak your faith aloud, unseen forces are exposed and subdued. He calls you to use words as sacred instruments, not only to ask, but also to give thanks, to bless, and to proclaim truth. It is an act of faith, a bold step of cooperation with the living God. My beloved child, I know you are longing for certainty. Your heart does not need distant metaphors or vague illustrations. It yearns for clear truth to uphold your soul. And here is that truth. The angel truly stands within your room, so near that if you fall silent and open your heart, you will sense an unusual stirring in the atmosphere around you. He is not the product of imagination, not a faint shadow of thought, but a living presence, powerful, intentional, and real. Do you know this? That presence is more real than every breath you draw, more solid than the ground beneath your feet. Yet the only thing that veils his light is the forgetfulness of your soul. When you chase after the noise, when you allow your heart to grow numb with worry, when you dismiss the spiritual call, his light appears dimmed, but it has never gone out. The angel still stands there waiting for you to turn back, waiting for you to hunger once more. He does not come to sow fear within you, but to stir you awake from the days that has bound you far too long. For in heaven, an entire kingdom is attentive to you, watching each step you take. Heaven cannot be indifferent when you wander, nor will it ever remain silent when danger approaches. You may think you are only a small soul among millions, but to the Creator, you are a treasure, His child bearing His image, one worthy of an angel being sent directly to guard you. That angel carries a flame, not a fire meant to destroy, but to illuminate the path. This flame is heaven's own light, guiding you to discern what is true and what is false, what is the call of God and what is the cunning enticement of darkness. He wants you to understand that you cannot live forever in ambiguity, drifting through half-made choices. You must awaken and choose a clear direction, and that is why He is here. My child, at times you believe that if you just try harder, you will manage everything on your own. But the angel wants you to know that it is precisely this over-reliance on self that drains your strength and steals your clarity. You were not created to struggle in isolation. You were formed to walk in the companionship of the Almighty and in the support of heaven's messengers. The angel's presence in your room today is a reminder of this truth. I want you to pause, to lift your eyes and breathe out faith. Picture it, the angel stands there robed in light, eyes filled with compassion, hands ready to uphold you. You may not hear with your ears, but your soul will recognize it. Peace will unexpectedly flood you, and an extraordinary strength will quietly flow through you. That is the sign that you are not abandoned, that heaven has intervened. Do not think this presence is given merely to comfort you for a moment. No, this is a summons. The angel has not come only to soothe, but to call you forth, to place before you a choice to remain indifferent or to step into the new season. This call is not loud, yet it resounds within your heart. It is like a bell in the night, echoing insistent, refusing to let you sleep any longer. And child, remember, if heaven is concerned for you, it means you hold a place, a crucial assignment in the Lord's plan. People do not trouble themselves over trivial things, but heaven is moving on your behalf. That proves you possess an irreplaceable worth, and that the journey you are about to undertake will touch great things. That is why angels come, to make sure you do not miss your moment. Do not collapse on the road, and do not allow darkness to steal your calling. My beloved, this is not merely a message. This is an encounter. A genuine meeting between heaven and earth, taking place right in your room in this very moment. Do not underestimate it. Do not let it pass like a strange breeze. Open your heart. Speak a prayer, even if it is only, "Lord, I will listen." Just that, and you will witness a remarkable change. The heavy atmosphere will dissolve, the darkness within will give way to light, and you will feel yourself wrapped in a love beyond measure. My beloved child of mine, hear this as a direct summons from the throne. The dangers surrounding you are not always blunt or touchable. They creep in far more quietly, through numb, listless feelings, through subtle, self-diminishing thoughts, through small choices you deem harmless. They come like drops of rain that erode rock, invisible, yet powerful enough to wear away your core. I see every crack in your soul, a word of self-abandonment spoken once, an acceptance that diminishes your value, an ignored whisper of conscience, and gradually you almost forget that you once shone with my life. Make no mistake, the evil that assails you does not only strike with obvious darkness. It attacks by small compromises repeated over and over, by your accepting a lie about yourself, that you are unworthy, that your calling is insignificant. It slips in through toxic relationships you dismiss with a shrug as out of love, through habits that encroach on your quiet time, through boredom that hardens into a habit of silent prayer. Each time you yield to these things, you forfeit a part of the light I placed within you. The angel I send does not come to frighten you. He comes like a strong hand on a zipper, pulling you back from a precipice you have not yet seen. He steps into your life and lifts a lamp high, revealing a path you thought safe, but which actually leads to depletion. He speaks to you in a voice of love. Wake up. Return not to condemn, but to restore, renew, and recover the dignity that has been worn away. Hear me plainly, the greatest threats that drain you are not public failures, but internal erosion. When hope is worn thin, when courage crumbles into dust, when faith is replaced by persistent doubt, that is when you are losing depth. Not every fall is the end, yet if you allow disappointment to become habit, you are handing over important territory of your heart to the enemy. Therefore, the angel comes to set you back in your place. He touches the hidden corners of your being and whispers the power of restoration. Reject the lies, cut off compromise, choose the truth. He reminds you that each small decision today shapes the season to come in your life. A sincere plea, a small act of faith, a confession before your brothers and sisters. All these have the power to break invisible chains. I speak to you, do not underestimate the power of returning. To return is not to repeat going back to the same place, but to step into renewal. When you look squarely at what has hurt you and bring it into the light, that light, my light, will burn away the darkness, heal the scars, and sow seeds of fresh hope. The angel is the one who guides that movement, inviting you to the holy table, urging you to rekindle the flame of worship, drawing you into a community where healing can flow through grace and shared prayer. I want you to take concrete steps right now. Come back to the Word, not merely to read it perfunctorily, but to let the Word strike your heart, to allow it to shape your thoughts and transform your actions. Prayer must not be reduced to a checklist of needs. It is a moment of dialogue in which you ask for guidance and then listen. Open your heart to trustworthy people, a brother or sister in faith, a pastor, a spiritual companion, so you are no longer carrying the battle alone. And above all, resolve to abandon every compromise, however small, words that demean yourself, an attitude of resigned endurance toward hurt, or the habit of postponing the confession of truth. Let the angel see in you a responsive heart. When you decide to rise, when you choose to speak a confession, when you demonstrate your faith through action, heaven will move. Those who have kept watch will pray. Closed doors that were sealed will begin to open, and confidence founded on the Creator will be gradually restored. I do not promise you a life free from difficulty. I promise you that you will not walk through it alone. Let my words sink deep. Your worth is not measured by your achievements, but by the fact that you are made in my image. Do not allow mocking words, unfair comparisons, or temporary setbacks to fade that truth. The angel has come to awaken you to this mission, to remind you of your sacred identity, and to urge you to live in a manner worthy of your calling. And when doubt still lingers, look back at the times I have rescued you before. Remember the signs, the moments my hand touched and lifted you. Faith does not grow by always remaining in safety. It grows when you choose obedience amid uncertainty. The angel stands beside you today to affirm this. You can be courageous and press onward. He does not leave you when you tremble. He does not abandon you because you are not yet perfect. He is there to gather every broken piece and mend them with grace. Finally, I call you to a single act. Speak and act. Utter this simple plea: Lord, restore me. Show me clearly. Give me strength to refuse what devalues me. Then rise and follow the angel's lead. By doing something practical, call a spiritual friend. Open your Bible today. Attend a small group. Confess a fault, or help another person with a small kindness. Each such step is a stitch mending the torn garment of the soul. Remember that this battle is not yours alone, it is mine and that of the heavenly host. When you choose to return, angelic wings will guard you. When you decide to reject compromise, the power from above will intervene. I have sent the angel and I stand behind him. Do not let this opportunity slip away. My beloved child, hear me speak. You have walked through many days like one dreaming, your eyes open while your mind sleeps. The rushed life has drained the keen edge from you. Lights, notifications, relentless work, and borderless noise have diverted your footsteps from the true path. You run the race against time, gather fleeting things, and slowly allow your soul to be eroded by trivialities. Yet precisely when you are busy staring at the screen, another fierce battle is being fought, unseen by the eyes of the flesh, but profound enough to alter your destiny. From on high, my angel sees each barb set to ensnare you. He sees the things gently tugging your mind into the whirl, those cups of spiritual wine you mistake for relief, the repetitive habits that cloak an inner emptiness, the grudges you carry like a heavy stone. Sometimes the trap wears an attractive disguise. Sometimes it masquerades as necessary busy work. He cries out, "Wake up," but that cry is choked amid the multitude of other sounds until you feel too weary even to listen. Allow me to touch the places in you that have grown calloused. You have grown accustomed to despair like an old companion, familiar even with pain as a routine, so much so that you take it for granted. But I declare despair is not your inheritance. It is a signal that something needs healing. When you accept suffering as normal, you hand over precious authority in your inner life to the enemy. The angel comes to squeeze your hand gently to awaken the longing for freedom from the depths, a longing I placed in you from the beginning. He also sees another sickness, the addictions of our age, not only tied to substances, but addictions to looking, to comparing, to seeking approval. You search for worth in likes and numbers, in fleeting, admiring glances, and then feel hollow when they are not given. The angel looks and is grieved, knowing you are trading the depths of your soul for empty applause. I say to you, do not sell your heart for the passing things. Recover your sight. Your value does not come from the world but from me, from the calling and purpose I have placed within you. There is also the anger you nurse, an ember that slowly burns down your own house. You hold tightly to the hurts, brood over them as if they were your rightful possessions, and day by day that toxicity seeps into every relationship. The angel stands and nudges you, inviting you to open your hands and let go. Letting go is not forgetting or excusing. It is liberating the heart to receive peace. I declare forgiveness is an act of freedom. When you forgive, you do not give victory to the other. You return yourself to me to be healed. He sees the moments you resign yourself to paralysis, not always from a lack of will, but because fear has cast its shadow. Fear of being hurt, fear of rejection, fear of failure, all of these make you curl up, withdraw into a tiny cocoon. The angel comes to breathe new air into it. Courage is distributed not by the removal of fear, but by stepping forward despite it. Remember, faith is not the absence of fear, but rising up in spite of it. I sent the angel to expose those schemes, to bring light into blind spots. He does more than display the problem. He carries methods of restoration. He points the way home. Return to the Word, return to silence that listens, return to the community of those who love sincerely. He says, set aside moments of stillness, turn off the noise, and let your soul hear its true heartbeat, the rhythm I ordained. There are practical steps, child. Let go of some unnecessary tasks. Reserve time for morning prayer, read a passage of scripture, speak a confession to someone you trust, withdraw from relationships that pull you down, find a spiritual companion to walk with you. Each small act is a paving stone leading you home. As you walk, the angel will accompany you, guarding every entrance to your life and interrupting the devices that would drag you backward. But most importantly, remember who you are. You are made in my image, loved not for what you do, but for who you are. No circumstance can strip you of your identity in me unless you hand it away yourself. The angel is here to remind you of that so that you no longer sell yourself short for counterfeit values. I look at you with eyes full of hope. I do not condemn you for being weary. I only long for you to awaken to the fact that you are still invited into a fuller life. Let the angel's call stir you. Do not cling to what causes you pain. Do not delay returning because of pride or shame. Every step of humility you take is supported by me. My beloved, this is an invitation. Let today be not merely a day of awareness, but a day of action. Do one concrete thing in faith, however small, and watch it open a chain of restoration. When you dare to refuse invisible traps, when you dare to forgive, when you choose silence to listen, when you open your heart to healing, heaven will respond with my mighty movement. The angel will not depart. He will stand there beside you until you see yourself reborn in the light. My dear one, hear this word from on high. Every dream you have closed off through fear or timidity has never fallen outside heaven's sight. The longings you abandoned, the hidden things in your heart that you consider worthless, I and the messengers keep them as precious seeds. Even when you wrap hope in concealment, the angel records every name, every dreamed image of yours in the golden ledger of love. Do not think that silence or denial erases worth. On the contrary, in those quiet places, a sacred hand watches over and guards them. The talent you reject out of shame or fear of judgment is not forgotten above. I see what you deny, a capacity to speak comfort, a craft that can build a generosity that can warm many lives. The angel stands close to those gifts, covering them with a light cloth to shield them from passing winds, awaiting the day you return and dare to receive. I say to you, no gift is useless when it is given through me. I have placed special abilities in you to serve a purpose far greater than you imagine, and heaven still waits for the day you will herald that light. Concerning the love you keep closed up, I understand the fears in your heart, the fear of being hurt, of rejection, of entrusting your heart to another and seeing it broken. But heaven sees the necessity of the love you dare not give. Each tender affection you guard like a relic, every gentle word you have not dared to speak, are streams that can water another's desert. The angel lays a hand upon those places and whispers, "Open." For the love you give is itself part of the world-renewing work I have commissioned. Listen to my word. Whenever you deny yourself, whenever you hesitate to live fully into your calling, you surrender a sacred plot of ground to forces that would encroach. Those forces do not rush in with a clamor. They erode by quietly extinguishing lights, a candle of the heart, slowly guttering a song that was never raised, a generous deed forever postponed. Each time you withdraw from the light, darkness takes a step forward. But I say to you, do not allow a precious life to become the soil upon which darkness plants its foot. The angel sees clearly the consequences of every act of refusal. When you withhold your gifts from serving, the community loses a necessary light. When you hide your love out of fear, another heart withers for lack of response. When you bury your dreams beneath shame, the future, both yours and that of others, forfeits a chance for transformation. And I, with a heart full of mercy, declare that every gift you refuse is a blessing delayed. Yet this is also a message of hope. Heaven does not see you as a permanent failure. I still wait, I still invite, I still uphold. Let me call you by your true name, by the sound of the summons you hear when your soul is quiet. You carry a mission that did not arise by accident. It is a sacred commission. You have been placed in a world that needs the unique expression of who you are. No one else can replace the image, the voice, the experience, and the love you bring. When you dare to step forward, you do not only rescue yourself from a buried truth, you also become a light for the lost, taking up a share of responsibility in saving a community from decline. Now the angel stands watch, not only remembering but also guarding, continuing to encourage. They do not allow what you have forgotten to become useless remnants of the past. They tend to your dreams by kindling small sparks of hope. They may open a door by placing a modest opportunity before you, a conversation, a good deed, a moment of courage from which a chain of great change can begin. Do not underestimate the power of small beginnings. You may ask, how do I start? Hear this, give me a simple gesture. Whisper a small prayer, Lord, let me dare. Take a small step, write down a dream, speak openly with someone you trust, use a small talent for a good purpose. Stop the self-judgment that cripples you. Do not wait for perfection before acting. Do not wait for ideal conditions before offering. Every act, however small, is a declaration you choose to live out your true value, and heaven will cooperate. I also proclaim, do not fear failure. Failure does not erase your name from my book. It is part of the refining process. Those I call often walk through darkness before dawn. Every stumble is a moment in which I teach you how to rise, how to correct your steps, how to become stronger. The angel will stand beside you to lift you up, to cover your wounds with the balm of grace, and to lead you forward on the chosen path. My child, do not let voices of denial from outside or within weaken the call that resounds inside you. When you feel uncertain, return to the source, pray, meditate on the word, and seek fellowship with brothers and sisters who understand. There you will regain courage and confirmation from above. The angel will testify to your heart. They will clear the way, making you notice the signs you once overlooked. Finally, I set before you both a charge and a promise. Reclaim your identity as one entrusted. Cling passionately to your calling as a keeper of the lamp in the night. And the promise is this: when you dare to voice your dreams, when you embrace your gifts, when you pour out your love, I will multiply what you offer, not only with earthly reward, but with the depth of salvation and a bond to my eternal plan. The angel will encourage you, the hosts of heaven will open paths, and I will ensure that every lamp rekindled will pass its flame to another light. My beloved child, hear this clearly. I have heard your prayer when you weakened, cried out for balance amid every pressure. Now I come to answer, not with empty promises, but with a kindly command and an embrace to warm you. Understand plainly, This is at once a stern warning and a tender consolation. The warning says apathy, indifference, and spiritual numbness are the most dangerous enemies. And the embrace says you never have to fight alone. There is one, and there are messengers beside you at every step. Imagine this apathy does not arrive overnight. It slips into your life like fog, numbing rightful responses and causing you to ignore the cries within yourself and in others. Apathy normalizes danger, makes you accept half measures, and lets you say later when what is needed is now. I declare when you become apathetic, you close the door to grace. Frozen emotions impoverish the heart and silence the song that ought to resound. That is why this warning must ring in your soul. Stay awake to the hush that steals the spirit. Yet at the same time I hold you held with unconditional love, sheltered by care that comes from on high. I know you are weary. I know you have strained yourself and still feel breathless. Therefore I do more than warn. I give a source of comfort. You are not alone in the struggle to uproot apathy. Heaven has sent a messenger and placed compassionate hands around you to remind you how to live, how to love, and how to empathize. When you surrender into that embrace, you will feel peace, not an empty peace, but a peace that transforms. The angel does not need dazzling effects to fulfill the mission. He carries small but decisive graces, a single prompting that leads you to speak to the Father, a memory rising in your mind that recalls a pledge once made, an unexpected act of kindness from a stranger that melts the frost in your heart. These instruments are simple yet powerful in their effect, for they work together with the power I have placed in my word and in faith. Listen to me plainly. First, let prayer become an indispensable habit. The angel whispers to pull you out of avoidance through prayer. When you kneel and open your mouth to me, not with flowery words but with a sincere heart, a shaft of light will pierce the armor of apathy. Prayer is not merely asking, it is a turning back, an admission that you need one greater than yourself. When you pray, you rekindle sensitivity in your soul, restoring keen ears so you can hear the voice beside you and feel your own needs. Second, the messenger can stir within you a sudden memory, a fragment of the past where you once longed or once promised yourself something good. Perhaps it is a childhood dream brushed aside, a forgotten gift, or a vow toward holy living abandoned amid worries. When that memory stirs, it is like a seed in the ground meeting rain. It begins to push upward. Do not underestimate that moment. Embrace it, rewrite it, and turn memory into action. The angel does more than remind. He waits to see whether you will dare to answer. Third, heaven sends you acts of kindness from strangers as a sign that the world can still be good. A small gesture, a greeting, a glass of water, an encouraging word at the right time can shatter the sense of loneliness and rekindle your belief that you are worthy of love. When you receive such kindness, do not tuck it away merely for yourself. Let those deeds propel you to mirror them. Do something kind for another, even if it is small. A chain of goodwill will break the icy grip of apathy. I also teach you this important thing. Waking up is not only recognizing the problem, it is doing the work of repair. I want you to take a few practical steps today. Begin by reducing the noise, turn off the screens, find a quiet space, breathe deeply, and spend a few minutes listening. Write down one thing you have forgotten that you want to do. Set a clear, small goal for this week. Call a friend you have not checked on in a long time. Offer an apology, or extend forgiveness if it is needed. These simple actions are the levers that pull you out of the zone of apathy and lead you back to a living heart. Let me remind you, faith is an ongoing journey of response, one that requires practice and intentional action. When you choose to respond, whether with a brief prayer, a small deed, or a courageous decision, you cooperate with heaven to break the cycle of numbness. And when you do, the messenger will stand at your side, ensuring that each step you take is sheltered. He will soothe your disappointment, strengthen your resolve, and continue to prompt you with little signs until you grow accustomed to a new rhythm of life marked by sensitivity, love, and bravery. My beloved, do not allow this warning to become an accusation. Receive it instead as a gift. Do not let indifference become a curtain between you and me, or between you and your neighbors. Open your heart to accept my comforting embrace. Receive the awakening the messenger brings, and permit yourself to be touched, roused, and softened so that you may receive the grace of restoration. In closing, I say today is the time to begin again. Speak to me now, even if only with a simple phrase. Father, open my eyes, soften me, give me a feeling heart. When you speak it aloud, you step into the process of healing, and as you move, the angels move with you. I am there holding you, warning you, guiding you. Answer me, child. A new season of compassion and vibrancy awaits you. Thank you for listening to this message. Know that you are not merely an audience, but one chosen to live in the presence of God's Word each day. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any sacred messages. Amen.